What is going on, everybody? My name is Brian and welcome to my channel. Now, I don't know about you, but I am always in the market and always looking for new tools. And I'm always looking for tools that's going to try to make my life easier. And a while back, I ran across a tool. Now, as I'm sure most of you have already encountered, and if you haven't encountered it, you will encounter it, that is facing off against a rounded fastener. And if you've already faced off against these, then you already know that it can be a hassle to try to get those rounded fasteners out. And there's a lot of different options that you can use to try to get those rounded fasteners out. And if you look on YouTube, you can find a lot of those options. Now, I have done a video about removing broken bolts, but I've never done a video about removing rounded bolts. And I've also done a video about removing stripped Allen head bolts as well. And if you're interested in tips, tool reviews, projects, and more, make sure you subscribe below because that is what this channel is all about. Now, I have seen this tool before. I've seen videos of this tool working, but I never had the opportunity to try it. And I've always wondered if this tool was a gimmick or not. So a while back, I was at Lowe's and I happened to run across the tool. And this is the tool. It is actually called an automotive nutcracker. So if you're unfamiliar with this tool, the way this works essentially is there's a piece of hardened steel in here. And as you can see, it's been filed down to a point. And the way this works is there's a bolt that actually screws in and it's supposed to bite into the damaged fastener to allow you to be able to get a hold of it to break it loose. So as you can see, I did test it out and I put it on a small 1/4-inch nut and it actually bit into it and I was able to get a hold of it pretty easily. And then I went all the way up to a 3/4-inch bolt and it was able to bite into that as well. Now, the actual diameter of the inside of this eyelet right here is actually 160 thousandths. So that would actually be the maximum amount of room that you have to fit this over top of a fastener. But you also have to have room for this to be able to come out and bite in as well. So you would need it to be probably a little bit smaller than that 160 thousandths. But overall, this tool does actually work. But with that being said, man, there is a lot of limitations on this tool. First off, as I just mentioned, it has to be within a certain size to be able to work. Second off, you have to have the room to be able to get this on, to be able to turn this, to get this to bite on. Now, you also have to have enough space around the bolt for this to be able to fit inside. And you also have to be able to turn this once you get it on the bolt. And as you can see, the handle of this is only a few inches long. So you're not going to be able to get much leverage on that bolt once you bite into it as well. And if you're dealing with not only a rounded fastener, but a rusted fastener, then you are going to have some leverage to get this out. Now, you may be able to overcome that if you have enough room to, say, slide a pipe on the end of this, or to be able to get a hammer down there and tap it a few times to knock the bolt loose. But you also have to have enough room to be able to use this to turn the bolt completely out. Now, if you get lucky, crack it loose, and you're able to pull it out with your fingers, then you've hit the lottery. But in most cases, the bolt's going to be rusted. You're going to have to fight it from the bottom all the way to the top. So once you're able to break it loose with this, you're going to have something else to come back in to finish the job to pull the bolt out. And I was looking online at the reviews of this, and there was a guy on there that tried to use this to remove axle nut on his Ninja, he said, and you could see that he just destroyed the threads. It was actually a castle nut, and he tried to put this on there, I guess, and push it in, and it destroyed the threads. The man was in a world of trouble after that, and obviously the guy was probably inexperienced because the way the bolt was set up, I mean, I could have easily got that bolt off using Cobra pliers, using a rounded bolt socket, something other than trying to use this in that case, because once you have a stud sticking out that much and you're actually biting into your bolt, you're running a huge risk of damaging those threads. And once you damage those threads, you might as well forget about it. The bolt is not going to come off. So that's another big limitation to this. But the question is this a viable option in certain cases that's going to help you? And if you want my opinion, I think it actually is. I mean, this is $15 and it's not the end all be all that's going to solve all rounded bolt rounded nut removal, but it is, like I said, another tool for you to be able to use to try to either make your job easier or to make whatever project you're doing easier. So $15, definitely worth it to throw in your toolbox. So with that being said, if you're on the fence about it, I don't see nothing wrong with it. I think it definitely could work. And I appreciate you watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, you found this video helpful, man, subscribe, hit that like button, stick around. I got a lot more coming. Till next time, stay real.